All right, team, let's go ahead pulling up the big movers here. Let's take a look there, and we can do just percentage up or net change up here. Let me just do overall. All right, let's take a look here. I do see a recent AI name that has been making big moves. Be careful out there with GFAI and the AI names overall. Those things have been really moving as of late, so keep your eyes on this one. This one recently moved up there to 15s, then pulled back. Another rip in this pre-market up there towards 1760. Be careful out there with this one, but definitely we'll keep an eye on it. Why is it making this move? I just think it's just AI hype. I don't necessarily think it's something that the company's doing here. But like always, you guys take that with a couple grain of salt. So we'll see what happens.
Take it back to AI, because interesting right where AI bounced. And if you look, Joel, you'll like this $20 level. Holy mackerel. You want to talk about the levels of all levels. Look at this level in AI. One of the most volatile stocks, in the market right now, AI. But it is giving you a level of support like I haven't seen in a long time. We had the double bottom back in January back in March. Early March 2030, 2033, came back, retested twice, 2028, 2016, and then the last couple of days, same spot, 2050, 2040, 20, just enormous on this stock. So obviously that's the line in the sand. If you're bullish or if you're thinking of bounce, you want to absolutely hold that 20. It's bounced 10% off it already, but wow, what a level.
Yeah, but just be careful. One thing I've clearly seen is this one has had days where it does this at the open, right? So just be careful with the stock like this.
It's wild.
We'll see what happens. Definitely wild to trade these AI names. All right, let's keep going. We'll go to another one here. Let's look. What else we got making big moves? Of course, Micron's still making the move.
That's my sad face today.
WDC is going to be moving off of that. Exactly. So keep your eyes on those names. Sark up today. Of course, that's opposite of Kathy Wood's ARKK. So keep your eyes on that. We'll see if this can go higher or not today. Of course, I'm just keeping an eye on this because if growth names are going to take another hit down, well, then, yeah, maybe we could look at SARK. What do you guys think about SARK ETF?
Yeah, I mean, I just do the ARKK short. If I wanted to go short ARKK, I would just short ARKK. So, I mean, but, in a lot of cases, like at Robin and stuff, you can't short stock. So I get it. People do the SARK when they're getting, and if you look, I would just look at the ARKK chart to go right to the thing. And we've said it's struggled at 40 here. So until it gets over 40, it's hard to be bullish ARK. So I would say the opposite, because SARK moves opposite. Until SARK gets under 40, it's hard to be bearish SARK.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch ARKK until we at least get out of this range. It seems like we're in this little triangle. We need to get up there through 41 or below 36 in my eyes, but I'll just keep watch on those.
Yeah, 43.34 was that high on Friday in SARK. It hasn't quite reached that yet. So a lot of highs at the 43, 30, 40, 50 area. That's your major resistance if it keeps going.
All right, CTLT, Catalent. What do you think about this one? Any idea on this one?
I don't follow this company. You're going off the grid here on me. So what? I have no idea what this is actually. I'm going to add it to my universe maybe today, though. What is CTLT?
Yeah, so I've just seen this company move consistently. It's a little bit of a bigger company.
Yeah, it's interesting that it's not on, that I haven't traded it before. So I'm just trying to figure out.
This is a contract development manufacturing organization, or CDMO. It operates under 4 segments: biologicals, soft gel, or oral technologies. So it looks like pharmaceutical customers. So this one's an interesting one. It had made a recent kind of pullback. Did do like kind of an earnings gap, has pulled back into that earnings gap, and you're finding some bounce. What do you guys think about this chart, at least?
This is gapping up. Next daily high that you come into, I mean, looks like there's room up to 68, but that's another $2 away. Maybe if you're interested in this one, try and pick it up at the top of yesterday's range at 65, 64. So, all right, I'll let you guys finish up, and Triple D, I'll check in with you later on. Everyone have a good day.
Yeah.
Another reason why I brought this one up is an upgrade today by Deutsche Bank, upgrading to buy and raising price target to 88. So
when these smaller companies get upgraded, they can sometimes really move.
Yeah, it's not a bad one. Let's go to the net down, see what we see there, see if there's anything standing out to us on the net down move.
LRCX is down 11 bucks here now. And Applied Materials is going to trade down with that. Those two I do pair trade together. So when you see LRCX, you automatically assume MAT is going to have a bad day here too. You're seeing separation here with the Samsung stuff as well. So interesting, where Micron obviously a beneficiary, and then you got to dive in here, and it's not good for all of them. And Lam Research here trading down 11 bucks here, 480. This has been a stock that has actually held up very well.
I think this is an important thing to catch now.
Concerning.
This could show tech turnaround, right? I mean, a little bit. I mean, one thing I started seeing these start to go last week, but it could also be maybe worries with kind of the CHIPS Act and stuff like that, China concerns coming back into play. I think that could maybe come into these. Of course, these are more of your semiconductor equipment stocks, right? And so these are like the infrastructure behind these. So keep your eyes on Lam Research. There's a couple more. ASML, right, is another big one in here. And so keep your eyes on these to see if they start getting a turnaround today. A lot of them have like resistance, like big resistance right above. So that could be another thing. They could be just pulling back towards like further support. So we'll see what happens on these kind of semiconductor equipment stocks. But I am seeing a lot of tech names here today. Dennis, I don't know if you're seeing that, but Baba showing up here. That looks a little bit weak. That one's been strong as of late.
Tech is weak here today. There is no doubt this morning we've been talking about relative strength in tech. That is not apparent today. Tech is relatively very weak. Obviously, Tesla leading the charge, pun intended, down 3%. Apple down 1.3%. It's a big move down for Apple here this morning. Google. I think we got to talk about Samsung weighing on the overall market, though. As much as it's good for Micron with this whole, and I don't know how long it's good for Micron, but this morning they're seeing it as a positive with the, obviously with the cuts in production. This is not a good sign for overall tech. I mean, Samsung is a major player, crosses a lot of different, and crossover with a lot of other tech companies here. And I think we've got to give Samsung some credit for the weakness in overall tech here today.
Yeah.
So Samsung, obviously, disappointing earnings. If just joined the show now, Thursday night. They did talk about a production cut, which is why Micron is trading higher. But overall, you don't want to hear about the demand issues that Samsung's talking about. And I think that's spooking people on tech here this morning.
Definitely do think that's spooking some people. I'm going to keep an eye out to see what happens with this, but definitely something I'll watch today to see if it continues, right? I'm going to keep playing that Tesla short. We'll see what happens with that one. Now down to 179.40. So as soon as I get probably out the gates, I'll probably take a little bit, see if we get some continued down move. But I also will keep watch to see these big tech names, Microsoft, Apple, can they continue the strength? That'll be a big watch for me. Another thing to kind of watch, I'm seeing gold pull back a little bit this morning. If we, for some reason, get this down move in tech, I could see gold kind of continue the up move. So I'll keep an eye out on some gold trade. It's already pulling back in the pre-market, but this could be an opportunity, especially if we get the turnaround.
I like the pullback in gold as a buy. I do. I think you're coming in at a good level in the GLD. This 185 is where we broke out from. Now we retest that. So I think if you're, and again, it's about your overall macro picture. I mean, if you think, we're blasting off going all-time highs in the stock market, you don't want to own gold. But if you think that we've got more trouble ahead, perhaps another bank failure, gold will catch another bid in that environment. So I like gold on pullbacks here. I'm still bullish gold short term.
And the last news I want to bring up here is FRC's dividend suspension, right? Will this come into play? Do you think that maybe FRC is the next bank to fail here?
I've said that for a while. I hope there's not going to be any more bank failures, but I mean, this is the one that everybody's watching, so it's suspending the dividend. They're conserving cash here now. Spooks people a little bit more. I mean, the stock, and we've talked about this KRE, and this is what keeps me out of the market. So, the one thing, and obviously I've missed this recent rally, in the S&P. We've rallied up significantly in the last few weeks. I have been on the sidelines with it, not from a trading perspective, but from an investing perspective. And the reason I keep holding a lot of cash is because I don't see the KRE getting out of here. And eventually, if we start to get more bank failures, the S&P will go down. So I don't think we're out of the woods here. It's just not telling me we're out of the woods. I mean, FRC is still sitting down here near the lows. KRE is sitting down here near the lows. A lot of the major banks are sitting down here near the lows. And that scares me. Again, we can go up without the banks. But we can't go up if banks start to fail. There's a big difference. Financials can just stay here and the market can go higher. But if you see more bank collapses happening, the S&P will fall in that environment. So it's the boogeyman. It's the elephant in the room. It is what is keeping me on the sidelines. I'm still scared. Yes, we haven't had a bank failure in almost a month here, but we can see the tea leaves here telling us that we're not out of the woods, or the KRE would be rallying, and it is not.
Definitely something to keep an eye out. And definitely, like always, you guys want to check out extensive inventory of short locates. Check out TradeZero, of course, if you guys are looking for some shorts, and definitely check out Zero Pro, their flagship software. That's what you see us use here. And of course, we're going to wrap it up